Welcome to my video about interesting hidden details in Gamla stan. In Gamla stan, or the old town in Stockholm, there are a lot of small details that you do not always see, unless someone told you where they are and where to look. Here are some of those details. Let's walk around in Gamla stan and explore. First up, we have this very cute statue, Järnpojke. Järnpojke, or Iron Boy, is a cute statue created by the artist Liz Eriksson. It's also called Little Boy Who Looks at the Moon. It's been here since 1967, but was created earlier in 1954. This little guy is only 15 centimeters high and is Sweden's smallest public sculpture. Despite its secluded location, the sculpture has become popular. Visitors knit caps and scarves for it when it's cold. Others pat the boy on its head and leave small gifts such as coins or sweets in the belief that it can bring luck or fulfill wishes. We continue our walk to runstenen U53, the rune stone and the cannon. This rune stone can be found on the corner of Kåkbrinken and Prästgatan. It dates back to between 1070 and 1100. It's difficult to say how long it's been part of the facade. It was, however, mentioned in the 1600s. In 1937, the rune stone was cleaned up and put back into its place in a slightly more protected position. The stone's original location, though, will probably remain a mystery. But the cannon was put there in the 1600s to protect the house wall. It is the only known rune stone within the old town. Stockholm is considered to have been founded in 1244, which makes the rune stone older than the entire city, which is pretty cool. There have been more rune stones, 2 or 3 depending on what one considers a rune stone in Gamla stan, but unfortunately 2 of the rune stones have disappeared. There might be more rune stones that no one has discovered in the old town. Moving on to Stortorget, the most famous square in Stockholm. Stortorget, which means the big square in English. Here we have Kanonkulan i Gamla stan, the Cannonball. A folk tale says that the bullet was shot there from Brunkeberg in connection with Gustav Vasa's siege of Stockholm in 1521, and was intended to hit Christian II as he sat in one of the windows of the house, but missed his target. The truth, however, is that furniture dealer Karl ordered the house to be built in 1795, and it was he who then had the cannonball placed in the corner of the wall. Well, there is no evidence of the cannonball until 1864, where you can see it in a picture. Also, you can see it later in the 1930s, when they rebuilt or remodeled the house. You can see it on the drawings of the building. We're moving on to the quay. We're now on the street Skomakargatan, Shoemaker Street. Skomakargatan is mentioned in 1337. That means it's Stockholm's second oldest street name, after Köpmangatan. I just love this key detail. Don't have much to say about this one. I just love the old door and its big key. The key don't seem to be original though, so that's a mystery. I wonder what the story behind that is. The initials above the door says IISM and KIDC, dedicated to the tailor Jonas Jönsson and his wife Karin. They bought the house in 1643, so it's probably from around that year. There are only a few doors like this left. There used to be a lot of them. There used to be a cafe here that sold semlor. Semlor is an old classic Swedish pastry. Alright, we're moving on to the next hidden detail. The Petrified Cat. Legend says that the cat, or perhaps the marten, is not just a stone relief, but a real person turned into stone. According to folklore, the stone relief depicts a cat named Måns who lived in the house. This Måns was actually a human in cat form who clawed a man in desperation. During the flight of the crime, Måns turned into a cat just as he passed through the gate. And I have to say that the stone relief does look kinda creepy, and there is apparently a similar relief on the other side of the building as well that I didn't know about at the time of filming. The boring version of the relief is that in 1744 the skinner Nicolaus Björk, who lived at the address, had 2 occupational signs put up. In other words, the animals depicted were old skin trade emblems. And finally, we are at our last stop in this video. Skeppsbron 44. Handrejen on Skeppsbron. This house is a very special one, with a lot of different details, and one very strange one. The house is not as old as it seems. It was built between 1909 and 1910. It was drawn by Fredrik Dahlberg and was built by Carl Smith. Before, there was a building here from the 1600s that was torn down. This house is kinda funny. The house has a tinted roof covered with glazed tiles and on top a copper globe, which is supported by 4 dolphins. It also has a Viking ship as well as other nice details. But the very interesting detail on this house is really the so-called Handrejen, the mascaron. According to folklore, Carl Smith had the sculpture made because his wife had been unfaithful. The face is contorted with despair and anger, and the head is horned, which is a symbol of that the man has been deceived. Part of the folklore is that when rainwater hits the face of the mascaron, water like tears are flowing down over the lady body part. This one you really have to see in person. Thank you so much for watching my video about hidden details in Gamla stan. See you in the next video.